Hi, I'm the Happiness Doctor. As a researcher in positive psychology, one thing I've noticed is there's a lot of new studies coming out on mindfulness and happiness. Mindfulness is when people are present, when the activity you're engaged in and what you're thinking about line up. In order to study this, what researchers have done is taken advantage of smartphones. Participants are given a smartphone with an app, and this app notifies them at 2 random times each day. It asks them 3 questions. It asks them how happy they are, what they're doing, and what they're thinking about. What the researchers find when they do this is that when people are engaged in one activity and they're thinking about something else, but that something else is negative, people aren't very happy. When people are engaged in an activity, thinking about something else, but that something else is positive, they're a little more happy. But when are we happiest? We're happiest when we're engaged in one activity and we're thinking about that activity. However, what they noticed is that almost half the time we're engaged in one activity, we're thinking about something else, that we're not present, we're not mindful. So this means right now, people are watching this video blog, but almost half of you are thinking about something else. Basically, you're hurting my feelings. But there's something else about this study that's really interesting. What this study showed is that there's one activity where we're most mindful, we're most engaged. One activity, when we're engaged in it, we're thinking about it. And that activity is sex. 90% of the time, let's think about this for a moment. What this means is that 10% of the time, people are engaged in sex, but they're thinking about something else, or even worse, maybe someone else. The other thing it tells us is that people are checking their cell phones for a survey during sex. In fact, 10% of adults report that they have checked their cell phones during sex. For young adults, it's even worse. What research has shown is that 18% of young adults have reported checking their cell phones during sex. I'm not sure I have a real good explanation for this. It's just the science of happiness. So overwhelmingly, the research suggests that mindfulness is linked to happiness. So how can we use all this information to our advantage? How can we increase our mindfulness to be happier? One of the best ways of doing this is through meditation. Meditation works to increase mindfulness, and there's overwhelming research to show that it contributes to well-being. But having said that, it turns out meditation is one of the least practiced activities to increase well-being. But the effects of meditation, they're lasting, they're immediate, and they're really big.